weeks, and then that'll put me basically right around. And we're back. The battery just died. Okay, hold on here. All right, so what I was saying, October 22nd-ish.
What? Hi.
Hi.
What do you say?
How's it going in there?
Help me, Papa.
Can we stop unloading
Yeah?
and go out to breakfast? Papa's got a little, wants to talk to you about a game plan. Papa wants to talk to you about a game plan.
You had me at breakfast.
Does that sound good? All right, let's go to breakfast. Kai,
See ya.
is that okay, Henry?
Yeah.
Is that okay,
I'm
Henry?
tired.
He's a little tired. He's
Perfect.
smiling. So you still have like $70 on that. Wow.
Wow. Oh, he's so cute. Yeah, you just take a little snoozer. Okay, this way. Here, Michael, wait.
Hold on, Libby.
Got your hand?
Let me get the... One, two. Good one. I'm on the fence about it
Okay.
because there's just so many different moving parts with getting ready for New York City Marathon 2021.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but to do it well, to do everything well
Yeah.
in long distance running, you've got to be thinking 20 steps ahead and 12 months ahead. And that is why, one of the reasons why I signed up for the Houston Half Marathon in January is because that's the beginning of the running faster process in order to hit goals for road marathon running.
Yeah.
Now, CIM is canceled.
Yeah. You called it.
I called it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the New York City Marathon was canceled. And then, for the Azores, there's no guarantee it's even going to happen.
As of now, is it still on?
Yeah, I think as of now it's
And
still
as of now,
on.
can Americans go?
I don't think anybody knows.
Yeah.
I haven't heard yes or no as far. I would say probably yes.
As of now, yeah.
Americans can go,
Okay.
but I know it seems like I keep hearing in the news there are some spikes happening in Europe. Good job, buddy.
Give him a tiny piece of a hash brown.
Oh, wow.
This is so good. This is so
Michael, guess what? We're gonna get to 1 million subscribers because of you and your curly hair. Do you know that, sir? Your cute curly hair. That's right, everybody. Look at those curls.
Michael, can you
We know the real reason you're here. YouTube family. Oh, so good. Oh man, does it get better than that? Oatmeal and eggs. Yes, it does. It actually does get better than that. But I'm trying to eat healthy, trying to be smart. Anyway, it was good. All right, here we go. Understanding training cycles for runners, and bear with me, a lot of thoughts going through my head. So you just witnessed at the Breakfast Queen, True Love, sitting there listening to me share for probably about 45 minutes about my thoughts on the future of my racing and/or FKT efforts, okay? Keeping in mind that this vlog that you're watching right now published on October 1st, 2020. But on May 20th, 2020, I asked this question of the day on YouTube and also on Facebook. On Facebook, and let's do it. Question of the day. I posted this 2 hours ago. Oh my god, there's like over 48 comments already on the Facebook page. It's linked down below. I said, and here's the question of the day, similar to last week's QD, let's hear your 10-year running goals, okay? Exclamation point, and then I said macro level dreaming today on the vlog, Dream Big. So I bring up this topic today, the 10-year vision, the 10-year dreaming, because I'm excited to share my journey with all of you here on YouTube, But in addition, we can bookmark this vlog and return to it over time and be like, oh yeah, I said that in the comments, or I said that on Facebook about my goals for the next 10 years. So I'm 34 right now. That means I'd be 44. It's a long time, but at the same time, it's like it's good, I think, again, back to that macro level endurance planning, to forecast what do I want to be doing down the road. That's right, macro level endurance planning, okay? Macro level endurance planning. That was the focus of the vlog. In that vlog, I laid out, I believe it was titled My 10-Year Racing Goals. Upper right-hand corner, I lay out, at that time I was 34. So I basically laid out my personal racing goals for the next 10 years. Whoa. So that would be, oh my gosh, that's weird. 2030, okay? 2030. And I personally, that's how I think. I like to think in 2-year chunks, 5-year chunks, and then 10-year chunks. So that was my 10-year dream vlog for racing specifically. Not training, not YouTube, not life in general, but racing specifically, okay? Upper right-hand corner. But just so you know, in 2020, I was amped up, ready to rock and roll, ready to race fast on the roads, not on the trails. Did you know that? I'm not sure if you understood that, like, let's say 9 months ago. I was really, now my ultimate goal was to qualify for the U.S. Olympic trials. It didn't happen. But you know, I didn't run fast enough. And then also I was struck with the runner's knee in December and January. But my goal was to run the Hamburg Marathon. Yes, the New York City Marathon. I wanted to PR in a half marathon and a marathon, okay? It didn't happen. All these races, right, were canceled. Your races were canceled. It was a difficult year. But then I pivoted, like many of you out there, from actual in-person racing to other challenges and other goals to chase down. Why? To keep making those little teeny tiny aerobic deposits into your personal aerobic bank account, okay? And that's what happens every time you get out the door. No matter how short or how long your run is, how slow or how fast your run is, you're making teeny tiny deposits into your personal aerobic bank account. So that was one of the reasons I stressed so much. I think it was May. I made a couple vlogs about FKTs, fastest known times. If we're not going to be able to race in 2020, I still wanted a lot of goals to chase down at some point in this year. So that's what we did. My brother and I chasing down many FKTs. He's tagged now, I think, 5 or 6 personal FKTs on different 14ers. I think I've had about the similar amount. And yes, that motivated me to keep training hard, keep working hard, keep getting out the door at 4 a.m. In order to have goals to shoot for in this strange year that we all were facing. But I just want to stress, like, my A goals, my A vision for 2020 was actually to race fast on the roads, not necessarily on the trails, but we had to pivot. Now, zooming out even more, we are all at different stages of our lives, depending on your age, okay? And we're at different stages of setting personal goals for our lives. I cannot tell you, like, life is hard, crazy. It's challenging. There's so many challenges with work, with paying bills, with schoolwork, with relationships. Life can be challenging, right? But I think as runners, we have a gift. We have a gift that we can almost remove ourselves a little bit from kind of sometimes, you know, the stresses of this world, and go run and turn off the phone and just go run and be free out there running. And at the same time, these little, more so, I'm just going to say personally, more so than other sports where you might need a team to rely upon. Like if you're part of a basketball recreation team or a softball team, that's great. But you know, you need other people to help you chase down goals on that team. Whereas runners, it's to a certain extent an individual sport. But I think that's a benefit for us because we can pick a race, register, and then go chase down that goal. And we can have these little checkpoints along our annual calendar year to keep our mental state and our inner peace in check as we are struggling with different situations, which there were many in 2020. So I say all that because Depending on where we're at in life, me personally, it's been researched that marathon runners peak, meaning they're at their best, usually in that 32 to 34, maybe 35 age range. Now, shout out to Sunday, the London Marathon, upper right-hand corner for the live stream on Sunday morning. Here, I think I'm going to go live 3 a.m. my time here in the studio. Okay. Bekele's 37, might be 38. Here it is on your screen. And Eliud Kipchoge, I believe he's 34. He might be 35 now. Again, here it is on your screen. So Kipchoge is like in the prime. Like he is right there. Bekele, frankly, is a little old, quote unquote old, and probably doesn't have a ton of time left for racing at a high level. So for me, as a 35-year-old now, I'm kind of at that point. That's why 2020 was going to be my let's go run fast on the roads. Well, everything has to be bumped to the future. Since the last time we spoke, as you know, New York City was canceled a while ago. CIM is officially canceled. Not sure if you knew that. The California International Marathon on December 6th. So it's another pivot. If I didn't qualify for the Azores, if the World Mountain Running Championships was canceled, my backup to the backup was going to be the California International Marathon. That is now gone. So, zooming out again to that understanding training cycles for runners, I now, because of my age, I want to run fast now. Rather than, chase down 100-mile races like the Run Rabbit Run 100. If you haven't seen that vlog I ran, I believe it was the only DNF, did not finish race of my entire life. It was literally a tearful race, upper right-hand corner. So, training cycles, Boulder Skyline Traverse. You're watching this October 1st. Technically, today is the deadline to qualify for the Azores, for the Golden Trail Series World Championships in Portugal. I had the FKT on the Boulder Skyline up until, I guess about, 10 days ago roughly. And Joe Gray beat me by 6 minutes on the Boulder Skyline. And so I no longer have the FKT, so I don't qualify for the Azores. And I have decided not to chase it down again. I know that's sad. It's kind of rough. I know a lot of people wanted me to try again, and let me explain why I am not going after it again, okay? And again, this is the zooming out, kind of to remove, it's so hard. Removing yourself from the moment at times as a runner so you can zoom out to that 10-year, 5-year, and 2-year plan for your personal running goals. So critical, okay? So, since I'm 35, I'm not 38, I'm not 39, I'm not 40, I'm not 42. I'll just say right now, if I was 38, you better believe I would be making another attempt today, as you're watching this, for the Boulder Skyline Traverse. But for me, my goal, and this is crazy, everybody, my biggest goal in the next 12 months, and it's actually more like 13 to 14 months, is the New York City Marathon 2021. And I'm holding this up because this is my jacket from last year in 2019. I was so excited to amp up and gear up for the 2020 race. It was canceled. So in order to prepare well for the New York City Marathon 2021, it starts now. And and let me explain how. So if I were to do the Azores, let's say I beat Joe Gray's time, let's say they allowed me to travel to Europe, which is no guarantee, that's another big if factor, then I would not be done with that race until early November. I would need to take time off, and just so you know, so working backward from November next year, I want to race at least 2 half marathons and 1 marathon next spring, most likely in Europe. My next half marathon is January 17th. Shout out to Houston, shout out to Texas, in Houston, Texas. But, and this gets to the training cycles, okay? A really solid buildup for a half marathon and even a marathon is at least 12 weeks, even preferably closer to that 13, 14-week window. And a lot of the elites hit that 16 weeks, so 4 months buildup for their peak A races for a marathon, okay? January, you work backwards. So Now I have decided not to run the Boulder Skyline Traverse, which what I'm going to do, everybody, I'm going to have a little fun over the next week. You'll see it here on YouTube, doing a few little things as far as FKTs, and then I'm going to shut it down and I'm going to rest. Yes, even Kipchoge, even Bekele, the best marathon runners in the world, they usually take 3 weeks and oftentimes 4 weeks off completely. After, in fact, I think, well, we'll see what they say on social media, but I believe after their London Marathon this Sunday, they'll shut it down for at least a month and rest because their training is so intense. Now, obviously, they're elite runners. They're training at an incredibly high level, so their bodies are like saying, no, I'm throwing in the towel right now. So that is my goal. That is my plan, is to shut it down starting next week, after a little bit of fun over the next 5 to 6 days, and then rest at least for 10 days, most likely 2 weeks, and then that'll put me basically right around. And we're back. The battery just died. Okay, hold on here. All right, so what I was saying, October 22nd-ish will be the beginning of the next training block, the next training cycle for the Houston Half Marathon in January. Because how do you race a fast marathon? You race a fast half marathon first. You perfect the distance just below. So if you want to race a fast 10K, you practice first by racing a fast 5K, all right? In order to get that turnover going and get the body used to racing fast. So I realize I just shared a lot with all of you. Thanks for listening to that. And again, it's understanding the macro level. And frankly, between now and November 2021 for the New York City Marathon 2021, that's actually micro level. So it's understanding the kind of the rhythm of training so that you're peaking at the right time throughout the calendar year for your A races, okay? Which for me is going to be a spring marathon, and then the New York City Marathon in what will be it's always the first Sunday in November. And that question of the day, when was the last time, if ever, maybe you never have, or maybe you have pushed through and it didn't work out so well, but when was the last time you said, you know what, I'm not going to push ahead. I feel like it's time to take a break. It's time to hit the pause button on my racing, on my training, whatever the case may be, FKTs, etc., right? And yes, we will toss it to the May 20th vlog right there, where I talk about the 10-year goals, zooming out, figuring out the game plan for a decade. Whoa, that's a long time. All right, right there. Seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. Thanks for being here, everybody. See you tomorrow.